of equipment when you were going up a hill. So running 2 full fertilizer tanks here and heading up a hill, the tractor would noticeably slow down. And in some situations, you'd be running at 1-2 miles an hour versus that. I remember law folds. It's one of the reasons why for the last 2 major Saturday series, the law folds and then Oakfield Farm, one of my big tractors has been a class Axion 940 because it's got 380, 390 horsepower, and even though most of my equipment requires 250, on Farm Sim 17 I needed that 380 horsepower just to haul equipment that needed 250 to get up the hill. FS19 is very low. Yeah, VCA is available on the in-game mod hub for 19. I use it primarily for its drive reverse settings, which I am now happy are included in Farm Sim 22 because I prefer to drive with wheel and pedals. What I don't like in 19 and before it's 17 base game, if you want to go forward you press the accelerator, if you want to go backwards you push the brake, and totally alien to someone who drives a normal road vehicle in the real world. So having VCA loaded gives you drive and reverse and a handbrake, so I can, if I want to go backwards I push a button. Spacebar toggles between forward and reverse, but I've got forward set to one of the buttons on my steering wheel and reverse set to the reciprocal button. And then the accelerator just works like a go button and the brake works like a stop button, and much more natural. So that's primarily why I use this mod. There was another mod, extended driving controls, I think, but it didn't work with some equipment, and it also didn't play well with GPS. VCA also works with GPS, so if I have the tractor in reverse, it will go backwards. But the problem with the driving control add-on, or whatever it was called, when you engaged GPS, you ended up with the accelerator makes you go forward and the brake makes you go backwards. And obviously completely throws me at times. VCA also doesn't work with equipment you can haul that you can get into and move under its own power. So things like belts, because you can get into a belt, turn the engine on and drive it around at 2 miles an hour. To position it, it effectively has its own interior driving controls, if you like. So if you attach a tractor to a belt in order to move it long distances from the store to the farm, the VCA doesn't work. Now the accelerator and brake still work like accelerators and brakes, but if I stop with a belt attached, I can't click the spacebar and then push the accelerator to go backwards. I have to disconnect the belt, then engage reverse, then reconnect the belt and back up. And then when I want to go forwards again, I have to disconnect the belt, engage drive, and then reconnect the belt and drive off. So it's a great mod, and I do like playing with it because it makes driving more intuitive. But it doesn't play with some mods. It doesn't play with the AFM Land Rover mod. If you have VCA loaded and you're using the AFM Land Rovers, they don't move at all. You can't engage drive, you can't engage reverse, and you can't make them go. Which is why I had to drop using them, and we went back to using whatever Land Rover I have. Land Rover Defender, but that's not on the Mod Hub. You have to go and search on mod sites to find that. I think a lot of people do suggest that fuel usage is on the low side in Farm Sim, and they always have. Using a realistic fuel usage mod, it's surprising how quickly you go through fuel. The other thing I think, and I'm not sure about it, but repairing equipment in Farm Sim 22 is frightfully expensive, especially if you've got a used piece of equipment that you're repairing every 4 hours of continuous use. If you've got a tractor that's costing you, I think I'm running a John Deere 6R, and every time I need to fix it, it costs about $10,000. And because it's used equipment, I'm repairing it every 4 hours of use. $10,000 every 4 hours of use is horribly expensive. But if I had a new tractor, my testing shows that, okay, I might only have to repair it every 8 hours of use, but it's going to cost me $20,000 after that 8 hours of use. So vehicles are prohibitively expensive in FS22 in some situations. So I kind of question, you need money sinks in games to make it a challenge, but I wonder if the maintenance is set too high. Then again, I haven't played Farm Sim 17 or 19, 19 since Seasons came out as base game. And with Seasons, vehicle wear is significantly lower. I'm actually surprised this vehicle has 29 hours on it. But even at 29 hours, that maintenance bar, we haven't done anything to maintenance on this vehicle since we got into it however long ago it was that we took this contract. And that bar has hardly moved. Our class tractor is 90 hours old, getting on for, and I can go out and seed 50 fields and that maintenance has barely moved because Realismus included a modification to the rate that equipment wears out within their Seasons implementation. So it's not so much hours that you play, it's multiplied by the number of days in a season as well. There's the whole math thing of if you're playing 3-day seasons, then animals eat 1/3 of what they would if you were playing... if you're playing 3-day seasons, which is 1 day per month, animals will eat the most amount of food per day. If you play 6-day seasons, you've got twice as many days per season, and animals will eat 50% of what they do in 3-day season per day. Now that means over the course of a season, it doesn't matter if you have a 3-day season or a 6-day season, they're going to eat the same amount of food. It's just mathed down so that the game is playing costs per year as opposed to costs per hour. So that's why maintenance when you're playing with seasons in Farm Sim 17 and 19 seems so cheap, and it's because, well, we don't have to maintain our equipment quite so frequently. Now in 17 you didn't have equipment maintenance, you just had a daily maintenance charge on all your equipment, which happened at the end of the day. And when you added seasons, you had to maintain your equipment. I think you just had to maintain the tractors, and you may still have got that maintenance charge daily, but you only paid the maintenance bill based on usage. And with 19 it's based on usage, but it's modified by how long you've got a year set up for. Okay, I need to go check the contract. We are done. Whoa, stop, turn that off, fold that in, get paid, do a job, get paid. So 24,903, we just got paid, that's awesome. I don't think we have a loan, so also awesome. Anyway, we'll go fetch that fertilizer from the store, because, well, we might find a need for it sometime. Yeah, see, that's the thing with precision farming. We're going to be planting, or the intent is to plant corn, should I say, in those 2 fields that we've just prepared. And the corn planter has fertilizer application, and because precision farming, you're going to apply exactly the amount of fertilizer you need, so I don't have to worry about running around and fertilizing my fields the vast majority of times. I'll use oilseed radish or digestate to mitigate the amount of extra fertilizer a field will need, and thus reduce the cost. I've been playing Elm Creek too much this week, because I come out of there and I want to drive over here because Elm Creek. But, yes, we're not in Kansas anymore. And that, the other surprise in Farm Sim 22 was variable usage, variable width sprayers. So rather than, this sprayer was quite a novelty when the Kverneland Vicon pack was released, because you have the option to select the working width. Go there. I can select different working widths, 18, 24, 28. I don't recall what we were running, but it adds more arms to the sprayer. And so, that was a nice thing that was released with that particular DLC. But in 22, I can now turn on and off it. Some of the spreaders as well, you can do this, but it's a lot more difficult to tell. But with the sprayers, it's so easy, because you can look at where you've got fertilizer on the ground, and everywhere this folds out, there's a segment. So I can turn off this bit and the corresponding bit on the other side with the key press, and then we go along, and I can turn off this section next and the bit on the other side. Then I can turn off this section next and the bit on the other side. I can end up just running the sprayers on the back of the tank if I've got a really narrow strip. Okay, Mr. Mikey, you take care. Have a good weekend. So that was quite a surprise that they included that. I would like. The problem is it appears on this screen, so you have to have the help screen up when you're adjusting your which segments of the boom are working. but it's a great new feature. And I'm now getting to the point where I'll fertilise the edges of the fields full width, and then modify the width as I get towards the middle of the field, so that I'm not wasting spray on sections already done. And I do like that feature. I haven't checked out the Cavernal sprayers to see whether you can buy the different boom widths and still adjust them. The Breedle spreaders do not have variable width spread, but the is it Amazon spreaders we have now, they do. The problem I found with spreaders is it's not easy to tell, when you're just sitting there, how wide the spread is going to be. So it's not as easy to judge as it is with a sprayer. But conversely, with a sprayer, you do have to worry about the boom length and stuff that's on the side of the field that you could wrap your boom head around, or your boom arms around, like trees and fences. But still, okay, so we now have fertilizer done. We're up to 88,000 money, so that's nice. Money, no loan. So the farm is sitting quite pretty at the moment. I like where we are. Gonna boost time dilation 15. I do like the more options of the rate time passes. I don't use the times half much. The slowest I'll generally go is times 1. But times 2, times 3 makes for a good progression of the day when you're beginning a new farm. Even you've got times 5, times 6, times 10. I don't usually go over times 10, and I very rarely go over times 5. But it allows you to move time along. When I've got this job to do today, and then that's it. But you can also use the sleep trigger any point during the day, so I can get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I need to spray a field. I've only got the one field to spray. I spray the field, it takes me 10 minutes, and I can immediately go back to the house and sleep until 8 o'clock the next day, because there's nothing else to do. So that's kind of nice. What's the time at now? 10:56. Now I need to find my fertilizer tanks, which I believe are in here somewhere. Those fertilizer, or those are herbicide. Okay, fine. So we will unload that one. Now the other week I did load up the Lumberjack mod, which includes a super strength. Okay, so pick that up, figure out how to rotate things, put it down, and then pick it up again and drag it against the wall. So you'll see here I have a hose. This is a fertilizer hose rather than a slurry hose. Put that there. I believe we have fertilizer in the front tank. Sweet. So one of the reasons I like doing the manure mod is these tanks are not 2,000 litres. So when you unload them all, you end up with multiple tanks. However, I'm going to turn this on briefly. We want the front tank on. Change pump direction to filling. It's now on emptying, therefore, so we can now empty the tank and it will fill up that IBC. Don't think we had more than 2,000 litres, so that IBC will now fill up to 2,000 litres. If it gets filled, then, oh well, never mind. But I don't end up with two IBCs partially full of fertilizer, which, yay. Less clutter around the farm. And we are... oh, so close. Okay, 10. Oh, target is full, so we jump out of there. Drop that off. Drop that off. So that's ready to refill. And what I'm going to have to do now is unload that. I don't even need super strength to move this because it's almost empty. So I did end up with 2 tanks of fertilizer sitting around the farm, but that said, one of them has almost nothing in it. So yay for that. Oh, both of those bays are empty, so I wonder what happened to the JCB. And I should probably fill this up with diesel, but maybe we'll do that next time. I need to spray somewhere. Okay, turn that off. Engine off, jump out. I guess JCB's finished its oil change, so put this away as well. Oh, I also figured out how to get the real clog mod that I have right at the top right on more visible. I've made the writing orange so that it now, the problem is it kind of disappears when you're looking at the sky when it's white, but it turned out I needed to make the writing bigger so that it was readable. Okay, something just came up for sale, which may or may not be a good... oh, it's the flat tractor. Cool. 109 horsepower with all the colours. Yeah, that's Milbrand, Mitas, Trelleborg. Standard in Trelleborg. White twin and standards. And we can add GPS. And it's 109 horsepower. That's the Alpine tractor that doesn't roll down the side of mountains. We don't need one of those, so I'm good. But I didn't recognise the name, so what the heck is that? So we are at 1221. Well, at least I have a times 2000. We can run it up to nightfall. Ground temps don't adjust during the day. Hopefully it's been warming enough today that it's going to be over 50 degrees tomorrow. And there we go, sun setting. Go upstairs, take a nap. probably have checked the feed levels, but I don't think it's a big deal. It was about 8 o'clock, so sleep for 11. That's fine. Oh, actually it was 9 o'clock, so yeah, sleep for 11. So there is still vehicle running costs on something, probably mods. That was how you were charged maintenance in Farm Sim 17, and it stopped being a thing in 19. You have to physically go to a shop and repair your equipment. So it is 50 degrees. Yay, temperatures. Our sheep have made a huge mess. Is it adversely affecting their health? Not really. So I guess now we need to run out and get everybody fed and watered. So somewhere over here there is a box of stuff. This grass is a little high. Little high, little low. Okay, drop that there. We'll get a bale of hay. Get a bale of hay. Okay, that filled up. And we're in Oakfield. 1,600. I think I have to let the silage go more. It's like I said, we could lose any partial bale. Well, I don't know. I can always take the bale somewhere else because we haven't fed the others. So yeah, we now have, ooh, take a chainsaw to it, 360 litres. So that is now full, but if we walk away from that, it will disappear. So I am going to